Hi, this is John Williamson with my co-host Francis Burton, and this is RCM Tech Talk. My background has been 20 years in software development and 11 years in revenue cycle, building applications to streamline the revenue cycle workflow, trying to introduce automation and AI product tools. Francis, a little bit about you?
Yes, I am Frances Burton. I've been in healthcare for 40 years. Not all of it's been in RCM. I started off clinician and then slowly evolved into administrator with RCM as my niche and ended in the consulting world until joining up with Lockbox here with John.
Yeah, fantastic. So I think today we basically want to get our arms around what all the issues are. So everyone who works in healthcare knows at least their perspective of the issues, but a lot of times we don't talk about the perspectives, all of the perspectives and all of the issues and how they intertwine and play off of each other in the marketplace. So Francis, let's start on your side. So you've spent years and years working alongside providers and practices. What are some of the things that you're seeing that are challenging from a practice perspective?
Well, the organizational structure in itself, right? So private practices, they're smaller. There's not a great pyramid of levels. And then your other organizations, there are more executive, mid-level, and then your RCM director. I see that in a smaller setting, of course, everything is within the same building. In other type of settings, they are like your RCM department, maybe downstairs, it may be across town, could be in another country. So you have all those factors that play into just the organization itself. And then you have the the people themselves, the executive, the CFO, the COO, the RCM director. I call it the cliche term of siloed departments, fragmented understanding of RCM in itself. So, and I'm sure you've seen the same thing technology wise. I think it's hard for anybody to know who the decision maker is at times when you're trying to persuade a new product or a new idea or a tool.
Yeah, well, the technology plays into the hands, unfortunately, of everyone of the vendors more often than it does the provider customer. But then also, let's zoom out. Some of the challenges that happen inside of a provider office. Look like that's the whole world, but then there's other challenges and other perspectives. So one of the things I notice a lot of times is that, the insurance company is always the big bad wolf, the big bad guy, but they also have several components and constituents that they're trying to please as well. So a lot of this has to do with who's paying. So whether it's an employer-sponsored health plan, which is usually the most profitable, both for the insurance company as well as for the provider. Usually they pay higher rates than the government plans of Medicare or Medicaid. But then inside the insurance, four walls, there's actually a lot of stuff going on. So they're trying to predict how much they're going to spend. They're trying to create relationships with providers. A lot of times you'll see that it's kind of a monopolistic or duopoly scenario. So the insurance company has to set a contract with a health system. That health system has bought up all the competition. And so now they're forced to ultimately pay higher rates, which will then get passed on to the employer and the employee or to the government ultimately.